Personally, when I've started to discover, what's going on and, really try to find out why I'm here and who I am, I've really got this analogy of a road, just the road to truth. There's always speed bumps and things like that. And every day I feel like I'm moving a little bit, forward, figuring out why we're here and who I am, etc. And I know everyone else does too, whether, whatever analogy you may use. I think we're all advancing as people, um, which is why I want to talk a little bit about some of the bumps in the road. And before you say, comments about Alex Jones, you bash him, say he's paid by the CIA, or you say don't bash Alex Jones, he does a good job, he's, letting truth out. One of the speed bumps, one of the truck stops, whatever, I feel like is Alex Jones. But Alex Jones is a little bit more of a mandatory stop on the road towards truth. Simply because he's somebody that I've never met anybody out of a lot of people that I've talked to, big and small, about their road to truth. They haven't, they've all bumped into Alex Jones. I think all of us go to Infowars.com here and there. People call him a disinfo agent, or they call him a great guy. There's, but that's not the point I want to talk about. The point is that he's there. He's on all of our roads to truth, whatever highway you take. You're going to run into Alex Jones. And Alex Jones is good because he talks about a lot of these bad things. And he's very centralized. He's very easy to understand because he's got all these YouTube pages. He's got tons of films, tons of books that he sells. He guides you in the right direction about a lot of things. And he's very passionate. And he does talk a lot about truth and everything. And so really, I feel like Alex, for a lot of people, including myself, there was a point where I thought Alex Jones was the end of the road. Everything that you need to know is going to come from him. But Alex Jones is just a conspiracy guy. He covers a lot of important things. But if you sit there all day and you look at the Alex Joneses and the David Ickes and all that all day, like I did when I was figuring these things out, it's very depressing. It's very satisfying, but it's not. It doesn't leave you in a good mood. And a lot of us know about, you look at negative things before you go to bed, you're going to be negative, you're going to wake up negative. You might as well look at something positive when you're going to bed. And that was, that's what I did. I spent the first couple weeks of my summer looking at Alex Jones, reading a couple David Icke books, looking at videos of David Icke, and I sponged up a lot of truth. It was very unhealthy because it was negative information, but it was good, and it's, I don't regret it by any means. I've learned a lot from these people, whether, you believe a lot of things David Icke says or Alex Jones says, whatever. And there's a lot of things that we can all agree on that are in these books and movies and such. But it had a very negative effect on me, made me very, I guess, a little bit depressed, and I stayed away from it for a couple weeks. I decided, I knew I would come back to this, to YouTube, to whatever, and continue on my road to truth. I feel like none of us are ever going to know truth completely. I thought that I knew what this world was made of before I got into all this, and now this is a whole new world for me, and I know it's a whole new world for you and everybody else, whether you've been here for a couple of days or a couple of years, or 10 years. And we're all learning something new every single day, something that most other people that are out there, the mindless drones, don't learn. And that step after Alex Jones, there's that bump in the road that is Alex Jones that we're all going to hit. It's the gas station when you're running low on the tank, and you get to Alex Jones and you sit there for a while because Alex Jones is like that great. He does it better than anybody else. There's a lot of people, a Drudge Report and stuff that you learn also from Alex Jones. He's a big tree branch of information that comes from him. He does a great job. You can listen to him every day, 6 out of the 7 days of the week. But there are steps after Alex Jones, because if you sit there and look at Alex Jones all day, it's just going to be negative. There are positive things in this world, and that is the next step that I have taken finally. I started my channel when I started making those positive movements, and that's when I realized that I really needed to start talking to people about this. I wasn't just going to be, a news guy that sits here and talks about, the Casey Anthony trial, or, I like to talk about Charlie Beach sometimes, but it become like that new stuff. Sometimes I like to discuss it with people. However, there is a step after that that really makes you feel like it's a step that I haven't gotten to. But I've talked to people who are there, and they don't watch TV anymore. They don't care about these threats and the TSA and all that stuff. They don't. It doesn't matter to them anymore. And that's the point I want to get to, and that's the point of the road that I'm going on. I'm becoming more open-minded and spiritual to these things, but at the same time, I'm always interested in what's going on right now. What's the TSA doing? What's the mainstream news saying? What's the talking heads saying? Because they can give you clues as to what's to come next, and everything. But they're also negative, and you need to find that positive side to it. If you want to sit there and watch negative news all day, be my guest. But I've made a lot of changes in my life, and since I've gotten past, seeing, through the wall of tyranny and all of these negative things, and that everything is controlled, and finding out that there's nothing you can do about it. Once you take that next step, I've done a lot of things like, I don't mean to be selfish, but this is my own personal experience where I've walked away from my friends that I've had for over 12 years because they're a bunch of mindless drones, and, they know what I'm looking into, and I didn't necessarily talk to them about it that much, but all they knew was a little bit. All they knew was the two words conspiracy theory, and they started making fun of me left and right. They didn't want to know. They just wanted to make fun of it because they were, it's fear of knowing truth. And that was when I decided that I had to get out of there. And I knew that for about a year. But there was a step from knowing I had to get out of there and actually getting out of there. And getting out of there was that part where I saw past. I saw past the negativity, because if I just left my friends, I'd have nothing to do. I don't have any friends, forever alone, and just looking at Alex Jones all day, all this negative stuff. And I didn't have the cojones, if you will, to leave my friends. And I did that. I've started volunteering. I can't get a job. It's really hard, and I haven't tried hard enough, but I'd rather spend my time volunteering. I've met a lot of new people, and I love everything that I'm doing now. I'm going to be going into music in the fall, and I've spent more time with my drums and guitar and things like that, and spending more time on here and talking to people who are really equal-minded with me and people who are on a different opinion, and I love discussing with you guys. And that's just my own personal experience, but I've done a lot of good things in my life because I've jumped past that negativity and seen the positive, seeing that leaving my friends, yeah, it's a negative thing. I was afraid to do it, but I took that leap, and I'm greater for it. And I hope that you guys are making bigger changes in your life. And this all started a couple years ago when I made the choice to, whether you regret things or not. I have a tattoo on my ankle that, keeps my promise that I will not smoke or drink ever in my entire life. I could say that if I could go back, I wish I didn't get the tattoo, not because I want to smoke or drink, but because I know I'm strong enough to just say no. Back then I wasn't strong enough. I don't need the tattoo anymore to keep my promise. I can just keep my promise. But there's no regrets to this. Everything happens for a reason, and now when I look at that tattoo, I can say, well, I've become a stronger person from when I got this tattoo to now. And I think that everyone here can look back and say that they've made positive. I hope everyone can look back and say they've made positive changes, because if you're looking back and you're saying, oh, I'm just looking at negative information, I feel positive because I know what's going on. I think that people can make changes in their life. We know that there's fluoride in the water. We know that McDonald's is bad. If you can make those steps, you'll become a better person for it, and you're really living the life that you want to defeat the globalists or whatever. Because if you're sitting there and you're just looking at information and feeling bad for yourself, then you're not doing anything to become a better person. And this is all things developing to me in the last couple of weeks, and I'm striving every day to become a better person and love my life as long as I'm here on this planet, because I've realized how unhappy I have been the last 19 years of my life, and I'm making huge changes, and I'm proud of myself for that, and I hope you guys make those strides too. So I just want to discuss, where are you on the road to discovery? There's people who are only 9/11. There are people who are very spiritual. Some people lay off the spirituality or stick with their religion, whatever. And I'll talk to you guys soon.